Hey, black women in the South. Um, Louisiana in Baton Rouge, they just let about 10 rich white people that have been fighting a 10-year battle in court create a new city in the state of Louisiana, outside of Baton Rouge. Um, Black women understand that what is happening now as a result of this incoming Project 2025.org, which you need to read, which is a over 900 page manifesto. These white people, Republicans and conservatives, and these Christian evangelicals people, they intend to try to make America the way it was before the 1950s. So they're going back to redlining, and they're trying to take all the wealth and exclude blacks. And once they start excluding us, they will definitely start excluding everybody else from living where they are and pretty much working wherever they live in masses, creating nothing but like white enclaves all over America. So this is what I have to say to you. I really don't care about them creating towns of their own, because they have a history of doing stuff like that. And in enough time, you're going to see what's going to happen to those towns. It's historical. If you want to know, just go look it up, okay? But here's the thing, right? For black women who are living in these impoverished areas, because the reason these white people are leaving is because the poverty is increasing, crime is increasing, noise and violence is increasing, and they're afraid. And this is what they do when they get afraid. They run, they group together, and they think that it's going to protect them. But what they don't understand, right, and this is also historical, when only a certain amount of rich people hold on to all the wealth wherever they are, the other people who don't have will come together, and they will come for those people. This has been the history all over this world. If you think about European history, you'll find it there. African history, all over this world, you will find the same thing what I said to be true. Because people are not going to go without when they know there are other people overly abundant with stuff they neither deserve nor should have amply at their fingertips just to have it because of their skin color. So anyway, while they're doing all this moving out, creating new cities, and banning black people and all other people of color, no problem, right? What you need to do now is all those homes that they have left behind, if possible, y'all need to come together and start buying them all up. Buy up as many as you can. And then what you do is you rent out and you buy more, rent out and you buy more, and you even start finding out from each particular city, find out all of the migrant programs in Louisiana, and I'm sure Georgia will be next, for all of these new cities to pop up where white people are running to try to escape by themselves, right? Find out the programs in your state or in your area that help to house migrants. So when these people, as they're running and leaving all of these properties behind, you find out about these programs that help house migrants, get those houses, get involved in those programs where the government will be paying you to do that, to provide that service, which is to provide housing for migrants, right? Because they have it here in my city where I live, in New York City. What you do is you get involved in those things, and that way you put back the money into the community that is being taken out by these people that are leaving. Outside of that, if you can't buy those houses and get into those programs that are governmentally funded to house migrants, then you need to get your ass on Google certificates and start getting a whole bunch of certificates under your belt. Share them with the other black women in your community so that you increase the wealth of your community by yourself, okay? Because this is historical. White people do this all the time. Okay? When things get too outrageous with black people or any other group of people where they're concerned, and it doesn't even have to be a legitimate concern. It could just be what they don't want to be bothered with. It took them 10 years in court to fight to get what they wanted. They got it. They're white in America. They're going to always get what they want, whether it hurts other people or not. So the money that Baton Rouge is losing, right, from them leaving, you have to find a way to make it up. And you're going to have to swallow a hard pill, black women, and understand that you guys are going to have to start dropping the dead weight of all those black males that are not doing anything in your community, but increasing the crime level, increasing the violence, both domestic violence, black femicide, child sexual assault, and etc. You're going to have to start dropping the dead weight. I mean that literally, and I mean that figuratively. If you do not have a licensed firearm, you need to get one. When you see these people loitering around, selling drugs or doing the wrong things, call the cops and get rid of them. Start working actively in conjunction with your local representatives to change your community, to get back new resources and programs so that that money that has been taken out the community can get back in. You're gonna just have to start really doing some real work on the ground to make changes. It happened here in New York too. It has happened everywhere. And the way we handled it is the same way I'm telling you. It happened to us in Harlem. And what happened is that once we left Harlem and we went to another part of Manhattan and stuff, well, actually, how it goes is we had Harlem first. Now the whites are trying to come in, take up everything, and etc., pushing us out, right? So wherever we go and we start making it more prosperous than where we were, here they come again, trying to take whatever you build up. Get the point? So all you have to do to replace the money that's temporarily lost is to come together, build up another area or the same area that they have taken the money out of, to make up the difference. And once you get the economy back thriving again, they can't help but to try to have everything someone else has just because it exists. They'll come back and try to buy back the very thing that they left in the beginning. That's just who they are. And that's what they do historically throughout America. I'm telling you. When I was a little girl and I was born in Harlem, it was all black people. By the late 70s, going into the 80s, white people started trickling in. Right now to today, there's so many white people in Harlem, it even looks unnatural. The wind screams it's unnatural, right? So as other black people now are like, fuck it, you can have it. We don't want it. And, but they're going to be diehards that want to make it a landmark for black people, and I understand why. But the majority that are leaving and going elsewhere, right? Now who's following behind those black people when they're going elsewhere? And guess what's happening? The trickle back of the black to Harlem is happening. It's frustrating, it's idiotic, and it's stupid, it's childish. But it is the nature of white people with money and thinking that they can have whatever they want whenever they want it. And that's all it is. So don't fret when these people leave. Who gives a shit? Let them go. You just have to make up the revenue that is normally generated in that town, city, or etc. And it's not a one-person thing. It has to be a community commitment. So you guys need to start working on that, because now that there is a precedent set in the court for one state, you're going to see it happening in multiple states as a result of that one court ruling. So, in case you didn't see it, you can look it up. St. George, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, court case ruling. 10 rich white men, the article says, has won the right to create their own city. And they literally said it like that in the article. Create their own city. Now, anybody could do this. It's not that this can't be done. But to break away from a city just because you don't want to be around the black people that live there, that's the part that made it an issue with the court, and it took so long for them to rule on it. But when you factor in the fact that crime is just becoming so crazy, and then as a result of that, there are food deserts and companies leaving the area, these are the type of situations that come out of crime and black males not working or properly contributing to society that cause court rulings like this to happen. I mean, think about the amount of stores that have been closed in different regions of America due to crime and black male violence and the things that they're doing just because they want to, because there's nothing stopping these dudes from going to school, getting a regular education. And then even if you only have a high school diploma, there are many jobs you can get in life if you feel like school is not for you, which it should be, right? That you could do that would keep you from pandering in the street, harassing people, committing burglaries and robberies, and just turning upside down the community that people are living in. So I don't really blame the white people for doing this. I gotta honestly tell you, because if they were fucking up my neighborhood the way that I see them fucking up several neighborhoods throughout this country, I would want to get the fuck away from them too. But my thing is to try to give black women another option they probably will not think about in order to save black women and little girls. These men are men. They need to stand up and be men and do what they need to do in society like other men, or fucking die out. That's how I feel about it. But I wanted to put that out there for you. So listen, black women, help yourselves and save yourselves only. If those white people are leaving, try to buy those homes. Once you buy those homes, try to add little houses on top of your homes. Put some in the fucking backyard, the front yard. And all these immigrants they got coming into America that don't have no place to live, set those fucking places up and rent those places out to those damn immigrants. Make the fucking house you buy pay for itself. It's really that simple, y'all. Or if there is another service that you could provide to these many immigrant people, like babysitting or anything else, do it to get your money up so that you live better and you literally can get away from those crime, violence infested areas. Because let me tell you something, it's real out here. I have recently went to visit my son who's in the military, right? And he's out in Missouri in Fort Leonard, what is it called? Fort Leonard Wood. Because, you know, I went out there to visit him. And when I look at that place in comparison to New York City, I'm like, what the fuck is going on out here? I've never seen poverty like that. You can say what you want about where I live. We have people who are poor too, but on the same side of the street, you got people that live in the projects, and you got wealthy hipsters and whatever you call these white people that live in neighborhoods with black people, and they live in $1 million fucking apartments and condominiums and brownstones and townhouses and shit, all in the same community. And it's not an eyesore. Like when you walk down the street, it doesn't look like somebody just released all the trash from the garbage truck onto the street. Like, I could not believe some of the things I seen there. And it's fucked. I mean, I'm not talking shit only about that place. I'm just talking about, I could understand why a lot of these people are like, I'm not trying to deal with that shit. Because me as a black person, when I saw that shit and that's not part of my normal life experience, I was like, oh, I would never deal with no shit like this. What is this? So, I don't know, black women. I know you can't make work magic and change shit overnight, but please, I'm giving you a heads up. I happen to watch the Louisiana news, and I actually have a lot of subscriptions to a lot of stuff that happens in Louisiana all the time. I saw this court ruling, and the reason I'm telling you about it today was because I actually had got a text message from somebody down there, and there are other things happening, and I was like, wow, they're really trying to like squeeze y'all out if y'all don't start becoming people that really make a lot of money. And so that's the reason why I brought it to your attention, having a personal conversation with someone. And it's messed up, but a lot of times we're going to have to look at ourselves and start building from the bottom up with ourselves. Like, a lot of this stuff, we gotta take it out of our lives and substitute it with things that are more beneficial to us. Like, we have to raise our children and make them more focused on money, business, education, and making money in this world if we're going to survive. Like, black women, you're going to have to put yourself first. Get rid of these useless bum-ass males that are sucking you dry with money and bringing down your communities. I mean, you guys are going to probably have to start really going and petitioning to representatives to put task force together to come through the communities, scoop them the fuck up and get them out of there, because they're tearing shit down. This is the beginning. Like, once people start going to court to fight for moving away from the city they've lived in, your taxes go up. The money that those people used to put into the community is gone. So now you have to make up for that. Everything that you buy is going to increase significantly. And you may very well be priced out of where you live because the people have to make up for the money that has been lost. And all this shit could be avoided if these motherfuckers would stop with the crime, with the violence, the killing, the stealing, the snatch and grab, and all the other ridiculous shit that they're doing every day in their life. I seen a fucking video where people were stealing food and posting it online about how they were stealing food. I'm like, what the fuck? And instead of doing shit like that, right? Why don't we go back to the old way of doing things? Some of the things we do right here where I'm at. We have community fucking refrigerators. We have community pantries. We have churches that literally feed people 3 days out of the week, because people starve here too. But I don't understand it, but it has to be a mentality change very soon. Or I really don't know what's going to go on with a lot of black people in this country. Like, and I'm concerned with Louisiana because it is my home. So, like, I don't want to hear about what I know is going to come, which is going to be tons and tons of black women and children, black women and little girls starving and basically having no way to survive because things are going to get that dire. Like, black women down there, I don't care where you are, please start taking the test to work for the state, the federal government, and for your local city. And please stop this poverty mindset and start doing things to uplift yourself. And please, the first chance you get these dudes out of your house. That's going to do nothing but tear you down and bring you down. Please. The writing is on the fucking wall. Whenever you have people allowed to break away from other communities, make their own, it's only going to get worse, because if they're putting, let's just make up fake numbers, if they're putting a mere $1 million into the community, Everybody left behind has to make up that loss of $1 million in every way. The fare to ride the bus will increase, the light bill, the phone bill, the property tax bill, the water bill, everything increases because they got to make up the money that's gone. And if you're having a hard time trying to survive right now, it's going to get even harder because everything's about to increase. The cost is going up. And in order to avoid this, all it takes is simple fucking mentality changes where instead of you doing the dumb shit or the wrong shit, just do what's right. Get a fucking job, sit your ass down, become responsible, handle your business, pay your bills, be productive in life. And I'm talking to black males mostly. I am not talking to black women when it comes to that. But this is the issue. And as crazy as it sounds, we are going to have to run just like us black women are going to have to run just like the white people if you want to survive. I mean, and I know it's real because I go down there all the time, just like day trips, because I love my state, right? And it holds so many childhood memories for me. And every time I go down there, I see some repugnant shit that makes me think like, why are they doing that? They really don't even have to live like that. Last time I went down there, I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant. I went to a famous restaurant that people go to all the time for the food, right? 3 blocks away from getting to the restaurant, there was a shooting. A dude got killed. And I was in the Uber on the way to the restaurant, saw the tape and everything, police and everything. And I'm like, there's no need for that shit. It is really no need for it. Anyway, I really wish black women would understand that you gotta just make the money to save yourself. Save yourself. Wherever you live and it's way too many black people, make your money, get up, get out, because it's only going to get worse, especially if a lot of where you live, there's nothing but dudes standing on the corner or hanging out on the corner or causing crime, causing the violence. It has to stop. It so seriously has to stop. It's not even funny.